And at this moment, we are awaiting a final House vote there on Capitol Hill. You're looking at live pictures now from Democratic House Leader Hakeem Jeffries. You got Republicans who spent the night and early morning voting and debating President Trump's tax cut and spending bill. It calls for permanent tax cuts that mostly benefit the rich and cuts to Medicaid funding for millions of lower-income people. CBS News congressional correspondent Nikole Killion is live on Capitol Hill for us now with more. Good morning, Nikole. A lot of developments overnight in trying to pass this for Republicans. Just bring us up to speed on what's happening at this moment.
Well, what's happening at this moment is Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries is using what's called a magic minute, which is an unlimited amount of time that a leader has to speak on the floor. It's kind of like the House's version of a filibuster, if you will. So the Minority Leader has been speaking for at least about 2 hours now. Initially, we were told he might just speak for about an hour, but clearly he has surpassed that. But again, this is a procedural tool that is afforded to leaders. And I would say in the run-up to his speech, I did ask him earlier this week if Democrats would use any types of procedural tools or tactics to try to delay this bill or slow it down, similar to what we saw in the Senate, where you saw Leader Schumer ask for the bill to be read, and that took about 16 hours. And then, of course, we saw Democrats introduce a bunch of amendments during that vote-a-rama. That also took well over 24 hours. So now that we're in the House, again, Jeffries now has this magic minute where he can keep going and keep going. I will note that it was former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy who actually has the record for the longest floor speech. He utilized the magic minute back in 2021 when he spoke in opposition of the other BBB bill, which was then Build Back Better under the Biden administration. Of course, now the BBB for the Trump administration is the big, beautiful bill.
Just making me chuckle.
A little bit of irony there, right?
Yeah, you're making me chuckle there, Nikole. And I guess the question coming out of that is, what is the benefit for the opposition to do this type of display? I mean, Americans elected President Trump back into the White House. They swept Republicans back in, to get a majority in the Senate and the House. And so in many ways, President Trump is following through on what he said he would do. House Speaker Johnson trying to flip the holdouts. Is this for the opposition just a moment to lay groundwork for midterms and any potential blowback?
Well, again, it's just a procedural tool that both sides have in their toolbox, if you will. And quite frankly, because this bill is being done through the reconciliation process, which is a budgetary procedure, it means that it only required a simple majority vote here in the Senate. And then, of course, in the House, that is why, too, we expect that this bill will pass along party lines, potentially pass along party lines. Democrats have certainly made clear that they intend to oppose it. They clearly don't have the votes to stop it. So really all they can do is use these procedural tactics to try to message against it. And it absolutely will be a political messaging point for both parties as we enter, the midterm cycle. I would note even in his speech this morning, the leader did kind of name check certain lawmakers and certain districts in terms of reading stories, for instance, from different people in their districts about the impacts of potentially losing Medicaid or SNAP food assistance. So from that standpoint, once this bill advances or doesn't advance, we'll obviously have to see what happens. But it will be game on for both parties leading into the midterms.
Yeah, a significant moment for sure. Hakeem Jeffries still going strong there. We'll stay close to this story all morning to see if and when it does eventually pass. Nikole Killion with all the letters and all the information we need. Thank you very much.